morning everyone and welcome to this seminar entitled Preparing the Graduating Students for Business Excellence and Leadership, sponsored by the Council of Business Students Enverga Chapter in cooperation with Toyota Tax Consolidated Incorporated. I am Jose Paulo Pempeño and I will be your host for this morning. Moving on, I would like to call on the ever-supportive Dean of the College of Business and Accountancy, Dean Pascal Bobadilla, for her opening remarks.
So to our guest speaker, no less than the President and COO of the Loyola Consolidated Plans Incorporated, and of course, the Mr. Samuel G. Moreno, the Loyola ESD South Luzon, to the companion of our guest speaker, to the officers of the Council of Business Students, and especially to the CBA students. So a pleasant good morning to all of you. So as I have always mentioned, and you have been hearing this since you entered in our college, it is not only, what is important, it's not only enrolling in a business program and then studying and then passing the exam or failing the exam. What is important is your total development. And as you can see, we have so many student organizations in our college which cater for your needs. That's why if you want to sing and dance, you have your KBA. If you want to excel in academics, we have your CAC. And if you want to write, we have our loose line. And of course, for each particular major, we have a particular organization. Because I have always mentioned that we are not in a provincial school, so how will you compete with other students in Metro Manila? And conducting this kind of activity like a seminar, and with our guest speaker, no less than the president of the well-known and a big insurance company, where in which our school has a transaction fee. For your information, our the retirement parenting school is entrusted Loyola. I have also an account for Islamic Loyola. And so, it will be very good in your resume when you indicated there that you attended a seminar with no less than the president of the company ang guest speaker. That's why whenever you attend a seminar sponsored by the CBA, it is important that you have to indicate the name of the seminar, and the date, and the speaker. So that when you apply to Metro Manila, your future employer will see that we have we have invited high caliber speakers. And so, please text na yung inyong mga friends, there are still available seats. They will miss one half of their lives if they will not attend this morning seminar. Yan. Pakiyan naman yun. And so with that, I am very thankful with the management of Loyola Consolidated Plans for bringing with us, for having with us the president of the company. You will note that he's very young. Kaya you should make him your model that at his young age, not yet 50 or late 40s, he's now the president of the company. And this morning, he will share with you his experiences. And you will note during the introduction, you will note that at his young age, he has been with so many achievements, enrolled or graduated with most prestigious school. Kaya with that, I hope you will have a very good, fruitful learning experience this morning, and we will remember, we will forever be grateful to the company because we will have free registration because of the generous support of the company. So let us give them a very warm applause for the donation.
Thank you, Ginfas. And now, for the introduction of our speaker for this morning's seminar, may I now call on the Loyola ESP for South Luzon, Mr. Samuel G. Moreno.
Good morning to everyone. Our speaker for today, just like you, is a graduate of Bachelor of Science in Business Administration at the University of the Philippines, Diliman, cum laude. But after that, he took up his graduate school. His master's in Business Administration at the Stanford University in California. At a very young age, he's only 46 years old now. So maybe after this symposium and after your graduation, who knows? You can become one of our marketing specialists or one of our employees. There will be so much work to be offered by our company. Presently, these are the offices he has his all day. He is a member of the Makati Business Club. He is a director of the Manila Board of Realtors. He is also a director of the Rotary Club of Makati. He is a director of the Alexandra Condominium Corporation. He is also a director of the Lira Luxury Condominium Apartments. He is also a director at the Sunet Tower Condominium. Likewise, he is the president of Worldwide Communication. One of his fortes is communication. He is presently the treasurer of the Philippine Mortuary Association. Likewise, he is a director of the Philippine Federation of Prelate Plans. He is a director of the Loyola Memorial Chapel and Crematorium, a Commonwealth President, Christopher Puyat Concepcion.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Can I ask all of you to stand up? Okay. We'll start with a little game. Look to the person to your right and say, "You are so good looking this morning." Now turn around and look at them and tell them, not just this morning, but every morning. Okay, magaganda, okay? Upo na po kayo, you can sit down. Wala po tayo sa wawawi. Baka may humingi pa ng premyo dyan. Dahil bigatin ka. So good morning. Thank you for inviting me as your guest. While they'll get this set up, medyo nagpapa-high tech tayo dito eh. If you see this in my hand, this is the lolo of the iPad. Bago nagka-iPad in 2002, ito yung lolo niya. So you see, science is very, very important. Can I see who here has a digital watch? All of those who have a digital watch, please raise your hand. Wala. Wala ba? Wala ba? Puro mga analog yung watch nyo? O nahihiya sa watch? Okay. Sa mga nagtatago ng digital watch dyan, I want you to know that you're holding in your hand more processing power than landed the man on the moon. If they had a digital watch, when they landed the man on the moon, they could have done it with just the processing power of that digital watch. And the computer that they used that had the same power as your digital watch was bigger than this auditorium. Can you imagine? Nung panahon na yon, yung transistor noon, parang bombilya yon, de tubo. Mga ganyang kalaki. And they needed a cooling system so that your digital watch, just to have the power of a digital watch, would need a computer room 2 times the size of this, a power plant the size of this room, and an air conditioning the size of this auditorium. Isipin nyo, talagang very, very, very big. Okay. So, just imagine that kind of processing power. You need that much. And now, you have it in your hand na yung baterya ang liit-liit. Who here has a smartphone, tablet? Wala ba dyan? Wala. Walang mga may iTouch dyan o umaasa na may iTouch. Wala. Sige, wala ba dyan mga may Galaxy, Samsung na maliit, yung may touchscreen? Kahit na yung my phone. Yun, yung my phone. Okay. Do you know that my phone you're holding in your hand has more power than all the computers in the world before 1968. You get all the computers in the whole world 1968, ipagsama nyo lahat yan, mas tatalunin pa sila ng hawak yung smartphone ngayon. Kung pinag-chess natin, gamitin natin yung telepono po ninyo, and that one will beat all the computers in the world before 1968, sabay-sabay. Very, very interesting. Ito. Sino bang nag-tweet dito? Wala. Walang nag-Facebook? Facebook? Sabi nga nila kasi daw, the difference between your generation and the older generation is, yung older generation, akala nila yung Facebook nabibili sa National Bookstore. At saka yung tweet daw, yun yung sa ibon. Okay. So, now that at least we know we're on the same page na marunong tayo mag-Facebook, marunong mag-tweet, here's something that you can take down. It's very good. You can tweet this message later. The greatest innovations in this century came about because man taught a rock how to think. The greatest innovations of this century came about because man taught a rock how to think. Tinuruan ng tao yung bato paano mag-isip. Computer chips, gawa yun sa silicon. Silicon is sand. Bato yun. Sino ba, who remembers their chemistry class dito? So, yung sand na yun, that is the basis of all microchips. And that's just buhangin. And yet, man was able to think and make that sand, make that rock, be able to think math problems. Sige, aminin natin, mga nagbi-video games dyan, kung hindi dahil doon, wala kayong mga video games. Sige, aminin. May pasasayawin tayo mamaya. Di ko alam yun eh, hindi ko inabutan yun. Anyway, first, I'm going to start off with what I call Financial Planning 101. One thing that you have to learn is that you don't succeed just by your own ability. Many times, you actually are lucky because of what other people gave you. In fact, we'll start out with a few ground rules. Can I ask you to turn off your cell phones or put them on silent mode? Para unless gusto nyong mag-donate ng cellphone. Kasi, I'll give you an introduction. In the business processing industry, if you're going to have a job interview, you must put your cell phone off. The moment it rings during an interview, the interviewer will fail you. At that particular point in time, you have to give the interviewer your full attention. So, you turn off your cell phone, put it in silent mode, or possible turn it off. Kasi kung marinig nyo, tapos, tatarat, diba? May problema ka dyan. So, if you want to jumpstart your career, make sure you know how to turn your cell phone off. Okay. So, sino dito marunong sa computers? Ano ba yan? Excel, spreadsheet. Sino ba dito marunong mag-web programming, PHP? Wala. Business class pala to. Okay. So, if you want to jumpstart your career, you have to be very, very good in computers. Nobody can have a job nowadays without any skill in computers. Okay, who here wants to earn money? Who wants to earn, ano yung mga, or who doesn't want to earn money? Parang hindi yata nagtas lahat. Okay, who wants to earn money? Meron pa rin hindi nagtatas. Sino ba dito hindi magtatas kahit anong tanong ko? Okay. Here, according to a study, it said that unlike in many other countries, ordinary Filipinos want to get rich, but they don't want to do what it takes to get rich. Gustong lahat yumaman, pero ayaw magsipag. Okay, who here, let's see, 21 units po kayo dito, ma'am? 24, wow, hirap. Ako dati, nagka-24 units, para kapag medyo tagilid sa 3 units, i-drop na lang, para safe. Ganun daw yan eh. Kailangan sigurista. Kasi I was from UP, and if you didn't have a 2.0 average, at least, you automatically got a permanent vacation from the business school. Pag yung average mo 2.0, pow! Wala ka na. Lumipat ka ng physical education. Pwede rin lumipat ng economics, home economics. Kaya madugo-dugo yun. So, kailangan sigurista ka. Kasi may mga terror teachers doon eh. We had, just to let you reminisce, may mga teachers doon eh. Talagang grabe. They'll fail you just for the fun of it. Anyway, many want to get rich, but they don't want to do what it takes to get rich. But I would rather say that many don't know how to get rich. If you have 24 units, who here studies 48 hours a week for class? Ha? Wala bang nagpa-48 hours a week of reviewing for class? Wala ba? Sino ba yung valedictorian niyo dito? Wala ba? Wala ba? Sino ba yung mga... Wala, ayaw aminin. Oh. Okay, who here studies 21 hours a week? In other words, mga 4 hours a day for class. Wala pa rin. Ma'am, balita ko may subject dito na very, very common and ang taas mo ng grades eh. Ano yung this Counter-Strike? At SM 101, yun ho. Yung problema kasi dito, yung ibang nasa SM, naghahanap ng love life, doon sa SM, ka-holding hands yung sarili. Tapos, Pag pupunta sila doon, kakain sila doon sa restaurant, napakalungkot, uupo sila sa tabi. To get rich, you have to work 65 hours a week. There's nobody who ever got rich working less than 65 hours a week. Sige, kwentahin natin. 65 hours a week is almost 12 hours a day plus half day on Saturdays. Nobody ever got rich working less than 65 hours a week. So if you're studying 24 hours right now, because you're in class, sometimes I'm not sure, pag nasa klase, ang daming nagte-text, ang daming nagtitweet, especially nasa likod, o kami lang yung gumagawa nun. Hindi. Nung panahon namin, wala akong cellphone eh. So, many don't want to put the work in. When you work on your regular job, you're going to be expected to work 45 hours a week. But that's just to survive. If you work 45 hours a week, you won't get promoted. It's going to take you a very, very long time to get promoted, and you won't learn additional skills. But you know what? Your parents are the richest generation in Philippine history. In fact, your generation is one of the richest generations in Philippine history. I'll prove it to you. Okay. How many of your lolos went to college? How many of your lolos went to university? I'm guessing not that many. Nung panahon na yon, you had to be super, super elite bago makapasok kayo ng university. 1920s, ewan ko, 1920s, 1930s, siguro 1 in 100, 1 in 200 Filipinos lang yung nakaka-university. And I'm pretty sure none of your grandparents had a cell phone. Diba? Sino ba dito may lola na may cellphone nung panahon nila? Hindi ngayon. Oh, wala yon. Hanggang kotse. Even what you think is a very easy job, yung sa politiko. O yun, madali daw yumaman pag naging politiko. Actually, it's a hard job. Si Vice President Binay is a friend, and every night, he has to go to all the lamay. Iikutin niya lahat nun, from 7 in the evening onwards hanggang alas 10 ng gabi, lahat ng residente ng Makati, pag may patay, nandun si Vice President. He makes that a point. Tapos, we call that na KBL, Kasal, Binyag, Libing. And all the politicians are there. So, a politician's job doesn't end in the office, and they're working 65 to 70 hours a week, especially on the politicking part. So if you think even politico, no, that doesn't work. Even businessmen, yung mga maiksi yung last name dito, mga Chinese. If you have Chinese friends, or if you're Chinese, you know the expectations of your family. You're going to study at the university, and you're also going to work after. You'll help out with the family business. Tapos you're expected to have high grades also. So, all told, 70 hours a week is probably standard. So if you don't work, you're not going to get anywhere. Unless, of course, there is the old-fashioned method of getting rich. Inherited. But since no one here seems to have the name Zobel, Gokong Wei, hindi, madaming C, pero hindi ka mag-anak ni Henry C. But again, si Henry C was not born rich. Huh? I'm going to tell you that Henry C was born poor. John Gokong Wei was born poor. In fact, he had to drop school at grade 6. His mother was a widow at the age of 32. So Henry C sold goods in a sari-sari store. My great-grandfather, Gonzalo Cuyat, was a carpenter. So, my other lolo, Jose Concepcion Sr., who started Concepcion Industries and RFM, was a clerk. So, it really comes down to hard work. So the two secrets of getting rich are, okay, ito, pwede nang isulat. Sige, gigisingin natin. The two secrets are, commercial break muna tayo? Biniti, no? Okay. The two secrets are education and skills and OPM. That's not original Filipino music. Other people and money. Those are very, very important. One is the skills, education, other people, and money. Let me explain. Let's break this open. One, the fact that you come from a university is already an advantage because less than half of the Philippine population has access to a university. You can say it's not UP Ateneo Lasal, but later on I'm going to tell you another story that the university is not as important as you. Okay, so skills. You have to have unique skills that the market wants that is not available. So, yung mga Inglesera dyan, if you speak with an American accent, if you want to, and you have no volume control, then you can work at the call center. Diba? Kasi, naghahanap sila ng mga may slang. Yung mga pinagtatawanan natin mga slang, they're actually going to get paid 30,000 pesos a month within their first year. And if they work hard, they'll be earning 50 to 60,000 pesos a month within 2 years. Okay, who wants to earn 50 to 60,000 within 2 years? Wala. Ilan lang pala dito. Actually, ang daming gustong mag-call center. There's another one, skills. There's one, yung sa condo, may isang mama doon, he's just a grade school graduate. And nandun siya sa maintenance, nakakailang taon na yun. Siguro 15 years na siya doon, hindi siya ma-fire out. Kahit ilang palit na ng boss, siya hindi masibak-sibak. Why? You know what's his special talent? Hanggang grade 6 lang to, ha? You know what's his talent? Siya yung nagda-dive sa Imbornal. Yung sa Poso Negro, siya yung nagsiswimming doon, tapos linilinis. So, gagawin niya ba yun? Okay, who here will volunteer for that job? Wala. Okay siya eh. May iPad na nga siya. Kayo, may iPad? Hindi siya matanggal sa trabaho eh. Because nobody, if you fire him, ikaw yung papalit sa kanya at magsiswimming sa Imbornal. Because of that, nobody can replace him. Imagine, grade school lang to, wala siyang ka-degree, but nobody can fire him kasi siya lang yung kayang mag-dive sa Imbornal. So if you have a specialized skill, the market, talagang hahanap-hanapin ka. Ano, may mga condition ba dyan mag-dive sa Imbornal? Kahit mag-wetsuit ka. Pero nakakatawa yung mama na to eh. After kalalabas lang niya sa Imbornal, inalokan namin ng kerosene, sabi namin, ito, gas. Baka gusto nyo. Para matanggal yung dumi. Sabi niya, ayoko ng gas. Masama yun para sa balat. Totoo yun. He said that. So, the other way to get rich is through other people. Leadership is more important than grades. Okay, sino ba dito yung officers ng business org? Oh, si Omar lang ba? Sino pa ba yung ibang mga officers? Sino ba dito officers ng organization? Oh, lahat. Kahit anong organization, huwag lang school bukoy. Okay, I'll tell you that do not forget to put that on your resume. The fact that you are an officer in an organization at my leadership skills kayo, that is many times more important than grades. Because the ability to lead people is one of the ways to get rich. Yung grades, actually grades, secondary lang yan eh. Magagalit yung din nyo. Can I share with you a little secret? Ewan ko, magagalit yung din nyo. Kasi Stanford University, okay, I'll give you a little background about myself. In 1996, I graduated from Stanford University, and at that time, I was paid $80 an hour to do what I'm doing in front of you right now. Of course, my boss will charge $5,000, will charge our clients $5,000. So, at the age of 28, I made $30,000 in 2.5 months. Okay, yan yung, now we're talking about interesting money. But that wasn't enough, because the guy who took summer the same time as me went to work with another company that paid him in stocks. Yung stocks, nabalita ba alam ng stocks? Stocks. Okay. He was paid in stocks in a company in 1996 that was an online travel agency. That company went on to be called Yahoo. Yeah, the guy who founded Yahoo was a year ahead of me, and he was hiring, and that I would have been employee number 9. That would have meant I would have been worth 35 billion pesos. Boy, I hate myself. Sabi ko, ano to? Ang bobo ng mga to. Walang pera, stocks lang. Ano sila? Hilot? I hated that decision ever since. Sometimes the opportunity comes and you don't take it. Well, ganun talaga. So, may mag-isip dyan, wow, 35 billion, kaya bang bilangin yan? So, one of the things is having skills. If you had skills, at that time, wala masyadong may alam sa internet, 1996. If you knew about the internet, you would have been an early adopter, and many people would have hired you. But other people also get rich. Yung mga networking dyan, I have a friend who's in networking, and when he started, mga bata pa kayo, you won't know yung Ishijenki. But there's other things like Forever Living, and those guys are making a lot of money. The ones who started it. Pag sa networking, kung ikaw yung nauuna, yun, kikita ka. Kung ikaw na huli, wala, talo ka. Okay. Next part, I'm going to magda-drawing muna tayo dito. Let me see. Who can I have a volunteer? Later? Ngayon na ba? Later pa, sayang. Mamimigay sana ako ng load eh, but that's okay. I'm going to share with you first Okay, ano yan? Hindi letter L. That's a graph. You know, the biggest problem nowadays as a graduating student, I'll share with you, is ang hirap maghanap ng trabaho. Right? Sino ba dito may job offer na? Wala pa? Graduating, wala pang job offer? Okay, I'll share with you what's happening. All over the world, ano, can you read? Kaya? Kaya? Bata pa. Okay pa yung mga mata ninyo. Okay. It used to be that a programmer in the US, if you were a computer programmer, you were paid $10,000 a month. Bakihan natin. Whereas computer programmers in the Philippines are paid $2,000 a month. Okay, sino nakakakita ng pattern? Ano kaya yung next chapter niyan? Sige, sige. Trigo. Ano? Okay. What happens is, you have a curve, and you have a curve. Okay ba to? High pitch, walang blackboard? Okay. So you have those two curves. What is happening is that they are converging towards a line. In other words, the salary of the program, just like you don't have to be in the US to be an accountant. You can encode the transactions here in the Philippines. You can even encode them from your own house. And it's the same kind of work, whether you're in the US, whether you're in the Philippines. Or even if you're in Boracay. So, no? Nasa Boracay, tapos pa-easy-easy ka, mataas yung sweldo, every night magpa-party ka. Anyway, wishful thinking. So what's happening is, it's converging towards a global average. The salary naman of the Pinoy is going up because the company in the US can come to the Philippines and hire a Pinoy as a programmer. And that Pinoy, as long as he's good in programming, can program like the guy in the US. So, because of network of the World Wide Web, the Internet, the salary in the Philippines is going up. The salary in the Philippines, in the US, is going down. If you don't build your skills, if you're a guy from the US, kung hindi ka magaling, mapapalitan ka ng Pinoy. Okay? But here's the problem, and this is why you are having a hard time finding jobs. Because this equation also applies to people from Indonesia, Vietnam, Sri Lanka, and Africa. Do you know that in Africa, if you earn $1 a day, mayaman ka na? Imagine, 42 pesos, mayaman ka na. So, if you're just going to have daily, yung mga yan, bigyan mo lang yun ng pagkain, masaya na sila eh. Sabi nga, they used to have a politically incorrect joke. Sabi nila, ano to? Hindi, may sinasakal akong taga-Africa. Ganun kapayat. Okay? Ganun kapayat nga sila, kaya sinasakal mo na eh. Because their countries are so poor, na talagang $25 a day, masaya na sila. Unfortunately, that guy from Africa, if he can do the same job as you, only has to be paid $25, the Pinoy has to be paid $250. Ano mangyayari doon? Kukuha niya lang sa Africa. Just the same way manufacturing here, dati ang dami nating manufacturing. Eh ngayon, mas mura yung sweldo ng Vietnam, mas mura yung sweldo ng Sri Lanka, East Timor, Laos, hindi sila Laos ha, Laos, Cambodia, mababa pa yung sweldo ng mga yan eh. So, because we have a minimum wage, okay, sino dito ng economics, supply and demand? Okay, good. Okay to. Eh, supply and demand, ano ang mangyayari if the demand, the market will only pay 250 pesos for the worker, but the minimum wage is 450 or 350. Wala, di ba? Walang mahahire, magkaka-surplus. That's why so many people are unemployed. Kaya girls, ito sa mga girls, I'm gonna give you some advice. Do you know the most popular occupation ng mga lalaki ngayon? Ha? Chemist. Chemist, oo. Chemist umaasa. Tapos noon, hindi na kontento, nag-asawa, PNB, palamunin ng biyanan. So ladies, you have to be able to work hard. Because, pero yung advantage daw nun, nakakahanap sila ng gwapo. Kasi, syempre, di ba? Tamo si Vicky Bello. Di ba? Gwapo si Hayden. Kasi she's the one who earns the money. Ewan, hirap na, no? Actually, in the Philippines, women are earn on the average more than men. Hirap eh. Unfair sa aming mga lalaki. But anyway, daming natatawa dito. Ano yung mga boys, yung mga gwapo dyan, sige, maghanap na kayo ng mga babae dyan na na good income earners. Sabi nga ng isa eh, sipag at tiyaga. Okay. So, yeah. Labo talaga. Move on na tayo. May natatawa pa dyan sa likod. Move on na tayo. So, you really have to build your skills, because if you don't build your skills, somebody else will be able to do your job and you're not going to be able to find a job. So you have to computer programming, sales. Actually, if you're very good at talking, sales never goes out of style. Yung mga nagko-call center dyan, natatawag, and then, ma'am sir, napakaganda ng kutsilyo na to. Kahit ano, nahihiwa. You know, mga ganon, di ba? And they earn good money. The people who are selling real estate. I was talking to a real estate broker. Well, Mr. Aquino there is a real estate broker. He's the man in the red shirt. And he'll tell you that there are people who are earning 5 million pesos a month on real estate commissions. Sabi nga ng isa, I would like to earn 5 million in my lifetime. Hindi. So, if you're a very good salesperson, yes, you will earn money. Business process outsourcing, consultancy, yes, you're going to earn money. Anytime that you can do a job at a lower price than somebody else in the world, you're going to earn money. But if somebody else in the world can do your job for less money, papatay ka. You're going to find it hard to have a job. Yeah. Okay. So, ay medyo warm up lang tayo kasi yung iba padating pa lang. So, I was holding off on to this part of the presentation. Real life business 101. It's harder than you think. Reality. You probably will not start a business. When you get out of school, just because you took business management, that does not mean you're going to start a business. Just because you took management, that doesn't guarantee that you will be a manager. 99% of all of you who apply for a call center or BPO will be rejected. 8% of you will get called for repeat interviews upon repeat interviews upon repeat interviews, but you'll never be hired. They call those the near hires. Hirap nun. Ang dami kong kakilala na ganon. Try and try. Mas mahirap pa yata matanggap sa BPO kaysa makakuha ng US visa. Reality. More than half of you will be lucky to get a minimum wage job that you don't even like. When you get out, I don't mean to be depressing, but more than half of you will be lucky to get a minimum wage job that you don't like. And you'll be lucky if you survive the 6-month probationary period. In all probability, parang SM, every 5 months, tinatanggal. And of those who try to start a business, over 80% of you will fail and lose a lot of money. Sometimes it's even 90 to 95%. So lahat ng puhunan nyo, when you start your business, mauubos yun. Those who have a family business, sino ba dito may family business? Raise your hands. Wait, wala ba? Wala ba? Wala ba dito may family business? Mga girls dyan, magtas kayo ng kamay. Pag may family business, madaming chemist na mag-a-apply. Wala. I only saw 2 hands, 3 hands. Okay. If you have a family business, that's good. But you will be disappointed by your parents. Because no matter how you try, all your good ideas, sasabihin lang nila, Iho, madami ka pang kakainin bigas. And then pag pilosopo ka, sasagutin mo, hindi ho, sinasaing muna. Ako sasabihin sa'yo, papunta ka pa lang, pabalik na ako. Ba't hindi tayo nagkasalubong? Kulit, no? So what can you do? What can you do if you want to be successful and you want to be excellent? 1, apply with companies. Mali ating edit na to. Apply with... I was in Hong Kong last night, sorry. Dumating yung flight ko ng 1 in the morning, antok na antok to ako nang ginawa yung PowerPoint. Anyway. So, 1 is you apply with companies where you will get experience in a field you like. So, in other words, who here knows Marvin Agustin? You know what's his real business? Yup. Do you know how much one Sumo Sam sells in SM Atrium? You know what's the sales in 1 day ng Sumo Sam niya doon? I'll give you a hint. When you look at a restaurant, you look at how many people can fit in a restaurant. So in that restaurant, I believe he can handle 150 people, okay? Lunch, there's what you call two covers. In other words, one group comes at 11, finishes by 12:30. Another group comes in 12:30 and finishes by 2. So that's 150 times 2 or 300 people. Dinner with 3 covers. So that's 450 plus 300, 750. And the average check is 500 pesos per head. Okay, do the math. That's a lot. It's like 350,000 or something. Okay? So in one day, it's selling 350,000. On a per day, he sells 200,000. His net profit, okay, sino ba ditong nag-case study, accounting nyo? His minimum there is 10% profit. So on one store, he's earning 20,000 a day. If he runs his operation well, he earns 40,000 a day. Times 30 days, that's 1.2 million a month from just one restaurant. 1.2 million. I believe he owns like 8 or 10. You do the math. That's 10 million pesos. Hindi lang pesos eh. Dami, kaya pesos eh. 10 to 12 million a month. Multiply that by 12 for a year. That's a lot of money. Okay? But what did he do? He started out, I believe, in Jollibee. And he learned the system in Jollibee. He learned the system of how they do the inventory, how they do quality control, how they do cashiering. And then, he took additional skills. He learned how to cook Japanese food. He hired experts in Japanese food. So that, from the skills he learned, because I assure you, sino ba dito natutong magpatakbo ng restaurant dito sa Enverga? Wala, no? Wala ditong nag-OJT sa canteen? Wala? Kahit sa karinderya sa tapat, wala? Catering? Okay. Yung catering is only part of the game. Imagine if you had to do regular restaurant, that you do that every day. Mamamalengke ka every day, and then yung mga, you have to plan. So anyway, Marvin Agustin learned that from Jollibee. He got the system, how to do inventory, how to train your people. Siyempre, celebrity siya. So it was easy for him to borrow money and raise the money to start the restaurants. It's really, really good. So, he learned those skills. But if Marvin Agustin tried to start a restaurant from the get-go without the experience, kahit na artista siya, look at what happened to Aramina, naluging restaurant niya. Who here knows the restaurant of Aramina in Quezon City? Anyone heard of it? Wala? Yan na nga yun eh. Wala, laos na. It's gone. So, because she had no experience, her try at the restaurant was a big failure. Parang si Chucky Matay lang yata yung kumakain doon. Masters in Business Administration, CPA, sino dito nag-accounting? Kailan kayo mag-board? Pagsipagin niyo yung review, ha? The exam is getting harder and harder every year. You will have to study 65 hours a week. First thing to do, log onto your Facebook account, deactivate it. No, I'm serious. If you want to make money on Facebook, turn off your account. Because you're going to have to study. If you get top marks, top 20, you're guaranteed the job. But to get into the top 20, you'll probably have to study 85 hours a week. That's 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. Wala nang good time. Okay? You can study law. We have one guy in our company, he was earning 30,000 pesos a month. He spent 5 years becoming a lawyer, 1 year on the bar, and then from the book he wrote and seminars he conducts, I think he's probably making 250 to 300,000 pesos a month now. Labor cases, ganon. So if you figure he started at about 30,000, 40,000, if he did not become a lawyer, he would be lucky to be making 40 to 45,000 now. But now, he just wins one case, his legal fee is already 150 to 200,000. So, you can become a lawyer, you can be a programmer. Kung magaling ka sa math, you can be an actuary. I have one person who, because I believe in my proteges, we disciple them, we get them to pick up. He started out at 12,500 pesos a month. 6 years, 7 years later, he's being paid 200,000 pesos a month, working for Chase and Company. And he makes 200,000 a month. I'm quite happy about that guy. The other trick, programmers, invest on your education. You really have to build skills. If you have good skills that the market wants, that nobody else has, then you'll be paid a lot of money. Remember the guy with Inbornal. If you're a very good web programmer, you'll get paid a lot. Of course, there's another trick. Have rich friends. I have a friend like that. Sinigurado niya na friendship niya yung mga anak ni Henry C. So, because they're very good friends, he has outlets ng food sa SM, and even though he's not that magaling, he probably earns 200,000, 300,000 a month. Food stall lang. Alam mo yung nagbebenta ng, yung nagbebenta ng waffle dog. Ganun yung negosyo nila. 10 piso lang yung waffle dog. Magkano ba dito sa Lucena? 12. Still, even with 12 pesos, how many, okay, sino dito hindi pa nakakain ng waffle dog? Sabi ko nga, lahat kayo nag-contribute na kahit nga lang yung buko juice na yun Even the soft drinks. Do you know yung soft drinks doon, yung post mix, yung nasa cup? Alam niyo yung puhunan doon? Or sa iced tea? Sige, iced tea na lang. Magkano yung 1 glass of iced tea? Bentahan 20, 22. Okay, magkano yung puhunan? 10? All those who say 10, raise your hands. 9, raise your hands. 8, raise your hands. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay, the answer is 2 pesos. The most expensive thing about iced tea is the cup. It's not the iced tea. Mas mahal pa yung puhunan sa cup kesa sa iced tea. That's why they can sell that. Sino ba dito kumakain sa Siomai House? Di ba yung gulaman nila na 10 pesos, Master Siomai? 10 pesos. Puhunan nila doon is 2 pesos and 50 centavos. 2 pesos for the drink, 50 centavos for the gulaman. Of which, I think piso yata yung baso. So, if you have rich friends, it helps. Leadership is more important than economics. Okay, sino ba dito mahilig mag-Bible reading? I'm going to share with you a little secret, okay? Who here is worth 12 million pesos? Raise your hand. Ha? Wala? No one here is worth 12 million pesos? Sigurado ba kayo? Are you sure? Eh, mali kayong lahat eh. I'm going to tell you that everybody in this room is worth at least 12 million pesos. Biglang may, oy, pautang. You see, Deuteronomy 8:18, but remember the Lord your God, for it is He who gives you the ability to produce wealth. And pwedeng i-tweet yan. Because of the value of a human life. If you add all your salary, well, when you were born, malaki yung gastos ng magulang nyo sa diapers, gatas, cesarean section. Kaya yung mga girls dyan, huwag kayong magpapakabuntis, ha? You just reduce your net worth, future net worth, by 30%. If you have a boyfriend now, you've just reduced your net worth by 30%. For men, you reduce your net worth 15%. Girls, if you get pregnant at this point, you've just reduced your future net worth by 50 to 70%. If you get yourselves pregnant at this point, you've just kissed away almost 6 to 9 million pesos of future net worth. Kaya, just don't. I've reviewed those, we've gotten those statistics. So, one, because you're going to have to spend all this money, net income. And when you're born, this one here is age, and this one here is income. When you're born, there's a big negative. Then when you're about 6 years old, free high school, free elementary, the expenses aren't that great. Then now, you're in university, malaki yung gastos ng parents ninyo eh. Ang mamahal kasi ng subject na Counter-Strike, SM-101. May isa pa yatang subject pero wala daw, it's not offered daw here. Forever 21. You have to take that at another campus. So, there's a very, very big negative. And then when you start working, medyo angat kayo ng konti, you're still dependent on IMF. Alam niyo yung IMF? International Monetary Fund? Hindi. Inaasa sa magulang fund. Because when you start your job, you still don't have enough to have your own place. Makikitira ka pa sa parents mo, sagot nila yung kuryente, pagkain, etc. Right? So, malaking negative yan. But when you add, by the age of 30, baka supervisor na kayo, by manager, by 40, you're a manager of all your future salary increase, Christmas bonus, earnings from all your assets, and that is about 10 to 12 million pesos. Add it up. Just add the salary. Get your future salary, multiply it by how many months, it increases 8% a year, add that up. And you've got a figure close to 10 to 12 million. Your greatest asset is your ability to earn. When you're young, less than 25, ito lang yung asset nyo. Liit, no? And then, it's going to break into, as you get older, cash, car, others. By the age of 45, lumaki yung cash niya, gumanda yung car niya, nagka-house siya, pero meron rin siyang others. And then as he gets older, bigger house, more cash, bigger car, others. And then when they get older, 65, wala, na-deplete yung cash, nandito na sa house, yung car is still the same, and still others. Others is yung mga stocks, insurance, etc. Okay, gusto niyong kunan niya ng letrato? Pwede. Because that is going to be how your future assets are going to be distributed. Nakafocus? Eh ngayon kasi, pag bata pa, you get your first paycheck. I mean, if you guys get your first 15 to 20,000 paycheck, mapupunta sa cellphone, no? Bagong cellphone? O sa iPad. Kahit brand juice. Aris, pakiti-wait mo nga yung iPad 2 mo. Pakita mo nga sa audience. iPad 2 ba yan? iPad 3? iPad 2. Nakuha niya yung libre. And I'll explain to you in a while. You see, okay, I'll explain to you, wait, is your coordinator? You guys want to take a 5-minute break to go to the toilet? Sige, ma'am, may I go out muna tayo. I'll give you guys a 5-minute break. Go to the toilet. Yung mga wala dito, sasabihin nyo ba? Can we ask the officers of the organization to collect the cell phone numbers and the names? Girls. And then,
Iglesia.
okay, everyone ready?
Saan lokal ka ba?
We'll start a little game first. Sino dito single and ready to
Tanda ko ako
mingle?
na atara eh.
Okay, sino ba dito wish nyo na magka-boyfriend? O may lalaking magpass, may lalaking magpass. Yung mga lalaking nagpass, pwede kayong mag-apply sa call center. Kasama yun sa job description. Okay, I'm going to start by introducing somebody who you wouldn't think. I'm going to talk to you about an interesting way to morph into a career. Di ba we're talking about business excellence, we're talking about skills and other things like that. So, I want to share with you, you see this website, jejimon.com. You notice that it is owned by Loyola. Ano, Jeje Babes pa dito? Baka gusto niyong mag-apply. So, jejimon.com at one point was one of the highest ranking websites in the Philippines. It was used to take advantage of an opportunity. Basically, the programmer who did it knew how to do web programming, and when the Jejimon craze was created, the website was created overnight. Walang tulugan, And it was used to create business, advertising for Loyola plans. And this particular entrepreneur then swapped it over to his Jeje Load. So Jeje Load is an online loading business for cell phones. You can load a cell phone, any Globe, Smart and Sun. Okay, can you read the writing? Maliit. Okay, you can load Globe, Smart, Sun, Talk and Text, Red, using the internet. And for example, for a Red mobile of 300 pesos, the puhunan is only 267. So you're able to have an online loading business without having one Sun for Globe, one Sun for Smart, and you don't have to buy a V-Mobile membership. You become a retailer and you can sell any of those loads. Well, Jeje Load has sold over 1 million pesos, and it's generated quite a good income for its programmer. Jejemon.com, if you're familiar with the Jeje Master, the Jeje Master was featured on ABS-CBN, GMA, and had a number of shows, complete with the Jeje Cap and Jeje Clothes. But I will share with you a little secret. The guy of the Jeje Master is not really a Jejemon. He's actually a very talented web programmer and very, very successful entrepreneur. He started his business from an early age as doing comics, selling school supplies, and he helped work his way through college, earning on the side. Then he came in as an executive assistant into Loyola, and then it so happened he took advantage of learning PHP language just when web started. And because he spent a lot of time harnessing his skills in PHP, then he became a good programmer, set up websites. He used his experience in Loyola and credentials to be able to borrow money to start his own internet cafe. And he was able to use money that he raised from the Jeje Load website to start even more businesses. So this fellow is one of our chief programmers at Loyola, and I would like to introduce to you the Jeje Master, Aris Bonifacio. Please come on stage. From PSBA, pero ang dami na niyang sinagasaan na taga-UP Ateneo Lasal in terms of starting his own business. And that's his Jeje Load. We'll give out numbers later, and I will turn over the stage to Aris.
So, good morning! So, siguro, napakilala na ako ni Sir Topi, pero mapakilala ulit ako. Ako nga pala si Aris Bonifacio. So, kakain ninyo, hindi naman ako nanggaling sa school na yung UP, Ateneo, Lasal, diba? So, pag may mga time, nararamdaman ninyo, especially pag mga time ng UAAP na basketball. Diba parang halos buong mundo mga ka-friends natin sa Facebook, nagpo-post, go Ateneo, go Lasal, diba? Ikaw hindi ka makareact kasi hindi ka naman taga doon ng school. Diba? So, nararamdaman ko yun nararamdaman ninyo dahil hindi nga ako taga doon. So, pero kahit ganon, tinitignan ko yung sarili ko, hindi naman ako ganun school, pero bakit ka-meeting ko yung presidente ng kumpanya na graduate ng Stanford, UP Diliman, tapos minsan sinasama ako ni Sir Topi sa mga meeting niya, minsan kasama niya meeting mga Harvard graduate, mga may-ari rin ng business sa Makati. Diba parang doon yung makikita na na hindi sa eskwelahan yung ingredient para maging successful. Diba? Nasa tao yun. So, lahat ng opportunity na dadating sa buhay ninyo, marami yun. Take it from me. So, kunin nyo lahat. Of course, yung mga magagandang side lang, di ba? So, kasi, sabi nga ni Sir Toby kanina, ito, kahit ako, imagine, at this point, nag-note pa rin ako sa mga sinasabi ni Sir Toby. Dahil nga, very precious for me, lahat ng mga words na nanggagaling sa kanya, no? Nakakabalat ako eh.
Hanggang daw?
Yeah, so Benz, kumahanap. So sabi niya dito, leadership is more important than grades. Diba? So, sa akin, napatunayan ko yun. Kasi, galing akong, taga Bulacan ako eh, Maggie. So, sa Bulacan ako from kinder to high school, to elementary to high school, doon ako nag-graduate. So, ang kaisa-isang award ko lang doon, alam niyo kano? Loyalty award. So, okay, sige, dyan lang kayo, sabi kong gano'n. So, and then, sabi nga ni Sir Toby, nung maliit pa lang ako, actually, as early as nung parang grade 4 pa lang ako, nung grade 4 pa lang ako, ang naalala ko, uso pa nun yung Ninja Turtles, na familiar pa siguro kayo nun. Ninja Turtles. So, ginagawa ko nun, that time, since na-practice ko lagi, nagdo-drawing ako ng mga comics, Ninja Turtles. Gamit ko lang yung Copan Band. So, tapos, nagdo-drawing ako, then gumagawa ako ng mga episodes, sarili kong episodes. Minsan, iniunahan ko yung mangyayari ko sa Ninja Turtle na cartoon. So, dahil doon, nag-create ngayon ako ng curiosity kung ano ba yun. Imagine grade 4 ako nun. Kung anong, syempre, ibang other side, di ba? Eh, that time, parang minsan naalala ko, nire-repeat yung mga cartoons. Parang, repeat na, replay na naman yan, ganyan. So, hindi na pinapanood. Pero ako, may bago akong issue na so parang, yung mga bata na inuuto ko, sa akin sila bumibili. So, ang lakas-lakas nung first publishing. And then later on kasi nung college, nag-work din ako sa publishing company, sa ABS-CBN Publishing. So, dahil nga sa background na yun, na sinabi ko, sabi ko, mag-interest ako sa publishing, ganyan. So, ayan, and then, okay, so, kaya naman din pala nag-create ako ng comics ngayon, kasi syempre, hindi naman kami mayaman, tulad ni Sir Toby, di ba? So, pinanganak siya, di ba? Consumption, kuya, pinagsamang yan, di ba? So, okay. Ngayon, so, pero nakikita niyo yung dalawang contrasting na, na tao, no? Isang galing sa mayaman, isang galing sa from the roots, siguro talaga, di ba? Ang kaya ng bayaran ng parents ko nun is yung tuition fee ko. So, doon ako nagpapasalamat sa kanila. Kahit pa paano, yung tuition fee ko, di ba? Kahit pa paano yung tuition fee ko, minake sure nila na nababayaran. So, kaya nakatapos ako ng college. So college. Sabi ko nga, madiskarte naman tayo eh. Kasi, as long na nabubuhay ka kasi pwede ka dumiskarte eh. Di ba? So, yun nga, yung mga tuition fees na gano'n, syempre, out of my, capacity. So, buti na babayaran nila. So, pagdating naman sa mga sidelines, sa mga baon-baon, yun. So, ang lumabas ng that time, ako pa yung pinakamaraming may baon. This is school. Ganun nangyari. So, dahil nga doon sa akin mga initiatives na gano'n. Okay? Sige. Oh, so, nung elementary, so, yun nga, so, doon ako, and then, nung nag-graduate ako ng elementary, so, nag-high school ako, tingnan ko lang yung timeline ko, Doon ako yung timeline ngayon sa Facebook. Diba? So, ayan, so, okay, so medyo nung elementary ako nun, grade 4, so nung nag-grade 6 ako, syempre medyo malalaki na yung mga muscles ko nun. medyo mas magbigat na yung kaya ko na. So, meron kaming sa Bulacan kasi matuno doon. Okay, may puno doon, tapos marami kami mga puno ng mga bayabas, o yung mga guava trees. So marami kami gawin doon. So ngayon, yun yung tita ko, kasi grade 6 ako na, so marunong na ako magtirador na, di ba? So, ang sabi ko sa tito ko, mahilig kasi ako makit sa puno ng bayabas. So, dalawa kasi yung puno ng bayabas. Una, yung bunga ng pwede mo ibenta, bilang panigang, diba yung mga hinog na bayabas. Pangalawa, nakikita ko yung mga sanga niya may letter Y. Di ba? So, nag-idea ako sa tito ko, sabi ko, putulin niya lahat yung mga may letter Y. Yung grade 6 ako, tapos ibibenta ko sa mga classmates ko. So again, dahil ayun yung boom nung mga slingshot dati, ngayon kasi parang hindi na ako nakakita ng di ba? Para bawal na pumatay ng ibon, marami na may cybercrime na, di ba? So parang gano'n eh. So, yung ngayon, sige, putol sila ganyan, no? So parang meron na akong doon sa bakay namin, para na ako merong plantasyon na, gugulat sila, grade 6 student lang pala, So, putol-putol din gano'n. So, ang lakas ngayon kasi yung guava tree, yung branch doon, isa sa pinakamatibay na pag ginawa mo na. Kaya di ba ginagawang buyan yun, di ba? So, pag magbuduyan ka, hindi mo sa atis na puro nilalagay yan kasi madali maputol. Pero yung mag-guava tree, matitibay yan. So, kanya yun ang pinakamaganda, most preferred ng tao na nabulin pag gusto nila na magkaroon ng slingshot. So, lumakas yun. So, again, nakakaipon na ako noon, nung grade 6. And then, eventually, nagulat sila na nung graduation ko nga, ako pa nagpa-blow out doon sa mga classmates ko. Nung, si parents ko, syempre, gulat sila lahat. So, yun. So, yun yung story ko, nung early days ako. Elementary, and then elementary. Okay. Masyado mo mabilis? Masyado ba kayo? Sige, so nung college naman ako, gusto, isi-share ko. Actually, nung sinabihan ako ni Sir Tofi na bibigay daw kami parang ganito, speech, ganyan. Parang sabi ko gano'n, basta isipin ko lang yung mga pinagdaanan ko dati. Lista ko lang gano'n, naka-bulleted. Actually, naka-bulleted nga siya dito. So, para at least, yung isa ko isi-share. Diba kasi, yung mga panahon na yun, parang nating extraordinary naman yung ginagawa ko yung mga yun eh. Parang wala, para sa akin, natural yun. I mean, natural yung gano'n, walang extraordinary, hindi ako nahira, enjoy ako, gano'n. Kanya siguro sa inyo, pag may ititake kayo ng mga business or whatever, endeavor, basta enjoy nyo lang. And then suddenly, after 30 years, kasi 31 years old na ako, so, pag binalikan nyo pa lang, magugulat kayo, nagawa ko pala lahat to, ganun. Pinapabasa ko nga yung bulletin dun sa staff ko, dun sa office. Nagugulat sila, hindi sila makapaniwala. Hindi na pala sila, ganyan. Oo nga, pati ako nagugulat eh. Sabi ko, wala nang sinungaling doon, yan talaga yan. Sabi ko, kasi hindi ako makapaniwala, nagpala ako before. Kasi para sa akin, normal yun eh, normal, nanggagaling, desire mo yun, parang doon ka enjoy, ganun. Okay? So, yun yung number one na dapat pag magtitake kayo ng kahit anong mga gusto nyo sa buhay, dapat enjoy kayo. Enjoy nyo lang talaga kahit may hindi maganda mangyari, whatever, that's part of the lesson. Okay, so nung nag-college ako, ito na. So sobrang challenging. Siyempre, di ba? Una, kasi sa Bulacan niya ako nag-school, di ba? So, that time, nilalakad ko lang yung bahay to school. So malapit lang, at least allowed ka. Ito may pumasahe na. Imagine, dagdag pasahe, di ba? May pumasahe. So, ayun namang ginawa ko. So again, thank you sa parents ko. So, medyo ginaan ko. Baka niya ka na ako. So, thank you sa parents ko. Dahil binayaran nila yung tuition ko. And then, yung mga allowance, baon. So, ginawa ko naman doon. So, ako nga pala ay isang business administration graduate din. Kagaya ninyo. Sino dito yung business administration? Wow! Ang dami mga At si Sir Toby, narinig ko nga, business admin pala. So, sino dito yung first year? College? Ayan, okay. Yung first year ako, natatandaan ko, dyan ako unang nagka-girlfriend yung college. Kami po, kami nagkikita. Wala tanda ko ba? Second floor yan. Kasi, sa tabi ng room tower 4, yung drinking fountain. Para just in case maging tayang kami, may inumin. Ay, manginumin ako kasi career. I mean, tsaka, pumasok din kasi ako ng ano yun eh, sa student council, tapos naging educational head din ako pero later time na lang pala yun. So, pero ganun ako active ako sa mga extracurricular activities. Siyempre, kailangan mo gumawa ng network eh, di ba? Kaya lahat dito, ayan, dali nyo dito, so, make friends, di ba? Sa mga Facebook, magagamit nyo in the future. Kapag kunyari, natanggap ko kunyari sa Loyola, di ba? O malay nyo, di ba? Kayo maging boss dito, di ba? So, ganun eh. So, always hope for the best. Okay, so, ayun, college, so sobrang challenging, no? Alam mo ba, na nung college ako, mahal yung mga libro makakapal. So, yung major ko nga pala, MIS, Management Information System. Okay? So, sino yung pinakamalaki dito sa course na MIS? Management Information? May MIS dito? Wow! Kasi at that time, nung year na yun, mga 1990 ata, ang nag-offer lang ng course ng MIS is yung Ateneo, kasi katabi lang namin yung katipunan kasi yun, and then PSBA. So, surprisingly pala meron pala MIS dito. Saan dito yun? Hote. Hote na kasi IT. Kasi alam ko yung MIS, isa sa mahal na course yun, di ba? Yung yung course na yun, kasi nga, it involves yung laboratory talaga ng computer. Kanya mas mahal. So, nanggaling din ako sa school, sa Philippine School of Business Administration. Business school siya. So, since business admin nga ako, lahat na napagdaanan ninyo, napagdaanan ko, meron ako subject ng accounting, meron ako subject ng management, banking and finance, taxation, business law, so yan, economics, syempre, so yan, lahat yan meron ako. So dito, sabi, part dito, accounting, ganito, di ba, mga accounting dito. So yan, naalala ko yan, yung gumagamit kami ng mga ledger, di ba, yung mga ganyan. So kahit konting konting pagkakamali. So yan, tandaan niyo yan, kasi magagamit niyo yan. Lalo na ako, meron ako pinutap na business, nagjo-jalo, makikita ninyo, 15,634, 1,366. Pagdating kasi sa mga ganyan, sa mga pera, yung actual money yan, dapat hanggang ultimong maliit na sentimo, dapat sakto eh. Dapat credited. Diba? So, yung mga background ko dun sa accounting, yan, nagagamit ko sa ganyan yan. Yung JJ loan, meron debit credit system siya, kasi may nagdi-deposit dyan, may nag-credit, gano'n. So, ayan. And then, sino dito yung second year college? Ayan, sige. So, sinusubukan kasi alalahanin yung yung mga nangyayari sa akin dati. So, yung second year college ako, lang yun, busy sa mga ginagawa. And then, pag yung ex ko nun, nagkakadaanan kami, parang alam mo yung ba't kunyari, balik-balik pa kunyari ganyan, di ba? Kasi yung parkado namin na gano'n, no? Parang sabi ko, buwasan kami sa akin, siya, magkabalikan na kayo, So, ayan yung second year. Sino third year? Saan dito yung third year college? Ayan, yun, yung mga gano'n, third year. Third year ako, kasi meron pang ROTC nun eh. May ROTC ba kayo dito? Meron, no? So nag-ROTC ako niyan. Okay naman. And then, wala pa rin ako doon, so busy pa rin ako noon, nung mga panahon na yun. Pero yun nga pala, yung nung college kasi ako, ang naging challenging dun sa akin, yung mga libro. Ginagawa ko na nagpapaserox lang ako ng mga libro. Isa ako sa mga unfortunate estudyante na hindi nakakabili ng brand new na libro. Yung National Bookstore, yung mga yan, hindi ko kilala yan. So, yung mga, ginagawa ko na merong malapit na school, along Aurora Boulevard, may parang parang may kuweba doon, papasok ko doon, tapos may nagsiserox pa doon, hindi mo alam. So, doon, papaserox ka, isang libro. And then, out of that, nag-earn pa ako. Kasi yung mga friend ko naman, na ayaw na nila, bumili ng libro, nagpapaserox na lang din sa akin sila. So, in return, parang binabayaran na lang nila ako ng extra money. So, yun. So, basically, doon din ako nakuha ng mga ibang pang funds ko, so, food, ganyan. Ayun. And then, so medyo habang tumatagal yung mga taon sa college, lalo nang hindi mabigat, So, feeling ko, sabi ko, kailangan na mag-aral, ay hindi mag part-time job, di ba? So, luckily natanggap ako sa isang publishing company nga, that time sa ABCD Publishing. Sino dito nakakala ng Choco Magazine? Hindi maabot? Choco, nakakalan di ba? Ayun yung college-oriented magazine ng ABCD. Di ba? So, kung nag-watch kayo ng Studio 23, hanggang ngayon, existing pa rin siya. So, nung panahon na yun, kami mga pioneering nun. Okay, so bilang college student ako yung nagtitid. Ang part ko kasi doon, ako yung nagtitid ng mga information, what's in, what's hot sa mga college na campus para maisulat ng writer, ganyan. At the same time, ko-contribute ako ng mga features. The same time na rin, yung pinakagusto kong part, yung ako yung naging parang official distributor doon sa eskwelahan namin sa buong campus. So, imagine, so lahat ng mga Choc Magazine, i-deliver sa campus yan through my school organization. And then, binibenta, siyempre, meron profit sharing doon sa school org ko. And then, meron din ako para sa akin. So, yun yung isa sa mga nag-sustain sa akin noong college. Okay? So, kung makikita ninyo, parang, trabaho ba yun? Parang, tingin niya, trabaho ba yun? Parang hindi naman, di ba? Parang, wala lang, ini-enjoy mo lang lahat. Kasi, by doing that, parang ang dami mo nakikilalang friends dun sa mga yon na, na nagbibigay ng dagdag na, sa'yo, na parang meaning para, para makasurvive each day. Dahil nga dun sa mga ganong, bagay. Okay. And then, so, okay, going back dun sa ex ko. Kala niyo tapos na, no? Sabi ko yung first ko kasi yun, kaya mahirap kalimutan. So, anyway, so, okay, fourth year na. So, fourth year na tayo. Yeah. Kaya naman, maraming salamat. Palagpakan natin yung school natin. Sige.
And kukunin natin yung numbers, cellphone numbers. And Alice is going to load them. Okay. So, no, sorry, hindi namin niraraffle yung iPad, ha? Asa pa kayo. Okay, read the number.
0907 1 5 8 3 8 4 6.
Hindi naglagay ng pangalan, disqualified.
Thank you. Okay, next question. Sige.
Parang interest po, parang guidelines or limits.
Para sa graduating student?
Ano po, establishing school enterprise.
Okay. Kaya siguro, hindi ka
Makakrap ng guwapo. Salesmanship pa yun. Kasi yung kagaya ng isa sabi nga niya magkano magpa-facial, punta siya sa SM. Sabi niya, kasi gusto niya magpa-gandang lalaki. Sabi sa kanya, sir, yung facial namin, 3,500 pesos. Ha? Ang mahal. Magkano ko yung foot spa? 500. Sige, paki-foot spa na lang yung mukha ko. Yung gagawa niyo mamaya. So, it's all about salesmanship. You have to learn, and it's good to pick up the experience in selling. Makita mo si Trump, di ba? Donald Trump, di ba? Kahit yung pangalan niya, parang Donald Trump. Gaganda ng mga girls niya. Because he's a good salesman. So, one of the things, Loyola, we can help you learn how to sell. We have OJT positions on on scanning, aside from training on how to market and sell. It's a very, very good experience. If you have work experience with Loyola, it's easy to apply somewhere else. Because 2 years out, I'll give you another secret. 2 years out, they do not care about your school. They care about what you've done. One of the people I met in Hong Kong was my barkada from UP. He started in engineering, pero yung girlfriend niya mass comm journalism. So lumipat siya ng mass comm journalism. Siyempre, bantay sa lakay, di ba? Well, he didn't finish either. Yung girlfriend niya graduate, he didn't graduate. But very, very interesting. He's working now with Bloomberg. You're familiar with Bloomberg sa news online. And I was nandito siya for dinner. Yung dinner namin was, there were 4 of us with wine. Nandito siya for dinner. Yung dinner namin was $150. Sabi niya, no big deal lang yan eh. $150. Nandito siya. You know what's the rent of his apartment? Rental lang yan ha. Rental ng apartment niya is 200,000 pesos a month. That's just the rent. 200,000 a month. And this guy was, hindi nakatapos ng journalism, but he's a very, very good writer. He's an editor for the online content of Bloomberg. Mga financial experts from all over the world listen to his write-ups, read his write-ups, and use that as a decision to buy stocks. Kaya, ganun talaga yun. And yet, he was successful. So it really depends on you. If there are any other questions, I'll take some questions naman.
Okay, thank you.
Alang yan.
Any questions? Sa akin naman? Wala.
Aris. May bagong career ka, Bert.
Okay, so if you have questions for Sir Christopher, you can go to the mic over there so that you can ask the question. Questions, everyone?
Masyadong shy. Yung mga, those who want to contact Mr. Moreno for OJT opportunities, you may do so after. Mr. Moreno, please stand up and be acknowledged. Okay, you've been a very good audience. The rest of these loads will be loaded. Mahina yung internet dito sa loob ng auditorium. Thank you.
Business and Accountancy. Level 3 accredited by the Philippine Association of Colleges and Universities Commission on Accreditation. Council of Business Students, MSUF Lucena City Chapter. This lack of appreciation is presented to Mr. Christopher P. Concepcion for devoting himself as research speaker in the seminar entitled Preparing the Graduating Students for Business Excellence and Leadership, given the 6th day of October, year 2012, held at the AEC Little Theater, MSUF Lucena City. Signed, Omar R. Student V. Pangardas, Council of Business Students President, Dean Paz L. Bobadilla, Council of Business Student Advisor, and Dr. Rohel Limpiaga, Council of Business Student Advisor.
Kapit, lalayo tayo.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I will go on with the reading of the certificate of participation. By the way, your certificates will be given to you upon leaving the premises of the theater while getting your food.